he, him, his pronouns, and I am the creator and director of this project. Before we get started, we would like to begin by acknowledging that UMass Amherst exists on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Abenaki, the Wabanaki Confederacy, Pawtucket, Nipmuc, Pecumtuck, and Nonotuck nations. We affirm that it is important to understand and honor the history of this indigenous land that we occupy, while recognizing that this acknowledges decolonization and reconciliation. Thank you. So, Visionary Futures explores the intersections between science fiction theater and social justice movements. We've commissioned 3 great playwrights to each write a short play that engages with visionary fiction, which really just means science fiction that engages with systems of oppression and imagines more just futures. We've been developing these plays all year round and are so excited to share them with all of you. So tonight, you'll be watching a production of Gender Experience by M Sloth Levine, which will run about 35 minutes. And almost everything you're about to see will be done fully live, thanks to our wonderful actors, designers, and streaming video team. Feel free to engage with us in the YouTube chat and check out the UMass Theater website for the full schedule of performances. And I think that's everything. Enjoy!
One day, I'm going to rearrange my face. My eyes will refocus, my hair will be curled outwards, and my complexion will become blemish-free. I will have a stronger chin and be 2 inches shorter. My shoulders will be a little wider and my thighs more like tree trunks. I will change my name and enroll in a trade school for community organizing and move to the other side of town. One afternoon, my brother will see me in line at the grocery store and I will tighten up a little. But then I'll remember that he won't know my face anymore and he won't recognize my voice, which will be a little more gravelly, and he will walk right past me and not even notice. And I'll pay for my little burrito and go home and have a great night. Then will be the rest of my life.
Got what I want, all that I want is a piece of your heart, your body and soul, body and soul, your body and soul, your body and soul. I got what I want, not all that I want. Of your heart, your body and soul, your body. My heart, no, it's never gonna shake, never gonna break, never gonna get that right. My heart, no, it's never gonna shake, never gonna break, never gonna get that right.
Okay, team, it's the start of a new quarter. Business was okay, but hasn't grown. I need ideas for gender merch. Let's go. You got anything?
Yes, identity, ovens. Ovens for every gender.
They're already working on that, but for astrology signs, the main office doesn't want us competing with the zodiac branch.
Oh, okay.
But it was a good idea.
What about a new gender?
A new gender?
What do you mean, a new gender?
Let's make a new gender.
We've already got so many.
Sure, but now that we've got the technology to download gender profiles, we can make new ones.
Haven't they already made all the genders?
All the genders so far.
But I mean, the profiles have all possible combinations taken care of. Most people use the top several, but you can do whatever you want to yourself with a line. Everything is fully customizable.
There must be something. It'll be new. We just have to find the
It gives you any possible option.
What about,
What are you doing?
trying to fit physical traits on varying ends of the masculine-feminine spectrum?
Yikes.
What? That's what it is.
It just sounds so old-fashioned that way. You sound like my grandmother.
Well, it's sort of true, isn't it? The aligned tech allows us to emphasize or neutralize different traits along a scale that we once called masculine to feminine. But now that we have access to all of these different scales, it's a lot more free.
Wait, what?
Like this.
You're saying that's gender? People don't like to think of their genders as a scrambled railroad map.
Cuneiform, you founded this department. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, I see what you mean. Everything is fully customizable. They can adjust the sliders however they want. We've made room for every point on the spectrum to be hit.
But we can't give up. There has to be some kind of gender that our scale doesn't get to.
We're using a lot of deregulated language today. How are we defining gender right now?
I suppose the particular permutation of body traits you choose in order to reflect mental state and personality through physiognomy.
In the past, gender was about defining social roles through body types. Nowadays, we think about gender as the physicalization of personality. When Laval opened their first gender clinic, that's when the fashion industry became involved with how we thought of gender.
Gender was always about fashion.
Fashion was about gender, but we understand gender to be fashion in a much different way than we used to. But if we can open a new style of gender to market to, the possibilities are endless. We could even consider Mars.
Hi, I'm Tootie Garland, and here at Curate, we understand that identity comes at the intersection of mind and body. After 5 years of publicly available aligned technology and decades of medical advancement, access to your own true sex gender experience is higher than any time in human history. Thanks to subsidies from the Venusian Solar Mining Coalition, anyone can receive aligned therapy and gender affirmative care to build the body that works for them. Try any of our default genders, downloadable from the Curate social profile server. Popular genders include classic Adam or Eve,
Birth goddess,
He-Man warrior hunk,
masked femme and andro queen,
Drag goblin,
blue stone butch,
machismo,
hyphen elf, 1930 style debutante, with or without slouch,
Kardashian Venus form,
bear,
otter,
twink,
faggot,
dyke,
lunar priestess,
Jessica Lipstick Von Teets,
plus size Barbie,
marathon runner,
asexual in smooth or rough,
Cinderella with or without minuscule feet,
Samson to Delilah, fluid forms,
bird-boned boy toy,
mermaid, comes in Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic models,
high heat resistant survival fist,
swamp crown,
Yellowstone wolf,
prehensile toad stretch champion,
high-necked carpenter,
millennium heroin bitch,
e-boy,
scene queen,
rough trade father figure,
brick house,
landlady,
blue commune fairy,
earth mother,
sun hero,
floral print lumberjack,
or customize your own gender with the True Sex Consult service.
I think to be perfectly happy would be to stop being able to perceive time. I think the perfectly happy moment would never be able to end, because if it ended, it wouldn't be perfect. So once you reach that level of happiness, something else happens to you, and that's where you go. And maybe the rest of us who are only sometimes happy see people who become perfectly happy die. And so mourning is actually jealousy. I mourn my sister who is gone because wherever she is happier than me. I mourn my childhood because it was not as happy as I would have liked. I mourn the ice cream that fell on the floor because the floor gets to enjoy something I wanted. And the way the floor enjoys it is inaccessible to me. It is not a happy thing. I am not a happy thing. Huh? How can we help you today?
Hello, I would like to turn my skin...
We don't do ethnicity tone shifts here.
No, I want to turn my skin blue.
Like Avatar?
No, more like a very pale blue.
We can do that. It's very retro. It was a fad in the 50s. They did it with temporary ink.
I know all about it. I want to be blue. I think I'd be happier blue.
It's a very permanent shift.
Well, none of this is all that permanent anymore.
Well, we could change it back, but it's harder to regrow your skin a third time, and it takes a while.
I know. I've already been aligned a few times.
Full skin shifts are becoming more popular again, but fantasy tones can be tricky. Since it's genetic, the precise color may not be precise. There's some variance based on other factors, including the healing process, your sun exposure, and other genetic factors.
That's okay. I just want to make sure it's not accidentally like indigo or navy.
Yes, we can do a scan and develop some projections before we proceed. Lighter colors are usually more realistic goals for most, so I'm sure we will be able to help you reach your true sex experience.
I do have a phallus, which was tone shifted blue a few years ago, so I'd like to match.
Oh, great. That will make it easier.
Oh, thanks. I'm in a commune with some of my lovers, and we've all been having blue dreams the past year. It feels like time to bring that into my daily life. It's all I can think about when I'm at the office, for my skin to be blue.
Are your partners encouraging this decision?
Oh, of course, super supportive. Wait, it was my idea. They're not pressuring me at all. We're not matching. Our wife, Elisa, has had blue-green hands and feet for a few years now, and our boyfriend, Connor, has all his tattoos in indigo. So it's always been our color. Even before I knew them, I painted all the bedrooms I ever lived in pale blue. It just makes me feel safe. And I want to be able to bring that feeling of safety to everyone who I know.
Welcome, my good Judies. It's another bright Friday night, and the High Femme Church of the Razor-Sharp Woman welcomes you. I urge us to remember, in the beginning there was a kid, and the divine feminine entered her, and the fire destroyed her birth, and she was Amanda Lepore. The Nimrod side of it. From any floor we can look out and see those who live within the domain of the earth, and we will honor them, and they will be safe under our sight. They will look up and see that their human cis straight white man with money came and said, "No many people will be this happy and together in their multiplicity, and that which binds you will be scattered, and there will be words left to divide you rather than recognize that which is singular, and all shall be confused, and tongues shall wag, and dogs shall bark, and cats shall shriek, and birds shall call." And the great tower was struck and came tumbling down in a cataclysmic circumcision. Some rejoiced and some were distraught, and some didn't know anything different as they never came near to it and could not see so far, and were not told about it either being built nor coming down. And Amanda Lepore said unto the masses, "I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce." And she turned the old church into a dazzling limelight and had a great time anyway. And she brought us on the path to femme glory, to fun and fucking and lipstick and latex. We party in the wake of destruction, for we've been aligned with the truth. We are made in his image, but we make ourselves in hers.
I'm like so glad my family stayed on Earth because the Martians literally do not have a line. Like, they do not have it. You can't get it up there.
That can't be true. It's a line. It's like, how do you not have a line? That's like saying, we don't have washing machines.
They just don't do it. You can't get it up there.
Why not?
I heard they're all cis on Mars. Don't transition.
Everyone's in transition, like all the time.
On Mars, you just like wear your clothes and like, I don't know, you deal with it.
What do people with periods do?
They have birth control.
I don't know. You say they don't have a line. They might not even have fire.
They don't have a line in Restoration, Colorado either.
That's not surprising. They don't have internet in Restoration, Colorado. It's a cult.
I don't think it's a cult. It's a whole country.
Orla Jean, it is still a cult. Didn't you see the documentary?
I have a consult this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're going to up my metabolism and straighten my hair, and I think I'm going to ask to be taller and maybe just take out some of my ribs.
That's a lot for your first consult.
Yeah, but I think I'll be happier. Like, why wait? I'm just like sick of having to watch what I eat so much, and I just feel like I don't want to be so short. Have you used a line yet?
Not yet. My sibling Lana the Mermaid, they didn't get one until college, so I might just wait.
Well, if you know what you want, you should just do it. It's really easy to schedule.
Yeah. I think my mom said it would be a little complicated with her doctor because we'd need a referral or something.
No, you can just call. It's really easy.
And I think my mom, like, doesn't have the savings for it right now. Are you going to change your name?
No, I'm going to stick with Orla. I like it.
I'm fine waiting for a line. I want to make sure I make the right decision.
I didn't mean to embarrass you.
I'm not embarrassed.
So then we should work on this presentation, right?
Yeah. I thought I could handle the history portion and you can do the current events and we can split the debate.
off at first when people who used to be cis started using Align and the stuff like it. Like, it happened in parallel. I mean, first the real housewife, rich, socialite kind of people were using it for perfection tech. And the trans people were using it for actual healthcare. And then JVN did that streaming special about his gender experience. And everyone wanted it to prove how much they love themselves, and it just kind of blew up from there. And now it's like expected to use it somehow to define your gender. It's like so old-fashioned to be cis.
I didn't like my body before. I felt hollow and withered, even at 16. I love the way my hair grows now. I love the way I feel my stomach spin with me. I love my ribs and my belly. I have the exact body that I want to have. I take up exactly the amount of space I deserve. I love walking around with my body and feeling us travel in space. When I feel my feet on the ground, there is power that runs up through the mass of my form and out of the top of my head, and an invisible golden cloud bubbles out of me, making me strong and influencing those who come near me. I can bring an atmosphere of power wherever I go. I feel the mass of my body, and I feel heavy enough to keep the world together. I am strong enough to do everything I want to do. I am as gorgeous as I can imagine myself to be. I love this body. And my mind feels more in tune with my body. But there is still a kind of longing. Not that I'm longing for something else, but that there is a longing for me. From some unseen realm. I can hear myself being longed for.
I did a little research.
That's our job.
See,
And
there's some people who've started hacking Align in secret.
furries aren't doing anything illegal.
Not the furries. That's not secret. No, these people aren't doing anything technically illegal either, other than misaiming the resequencers. They call themselves...
What?
It's silent.
They can't really pronounce it that way.
I guess only they can hear it, or sense it, the name.
What the hell are you talking about? Stop being this way that you are.
They basically scramble the sensory receptors to grow new sensory organs that they claim allows them to tap into another level of perception that they felt but couldn't access previously.
I don't believe in this.
No, it's a thing.
So basically, they just mess up their sensory organs to, like, not work?
They say they just work in a different way.
I think that's dangerous.
They once said that about transgenders before Align.
Don't do that. Don't make me sound like that. You're
think
not
we might
doing
be able
your
to get
job
ahead of
anymore.
this.
We sell gender accessories.
I think we might be able to get ahead of this, help them out, figure out a way to do it safely and stuff. Do I really want to get rid of gender? I don't know. I just want to go about my business and not starve and not have to spend all my time doing something I hate. I'm insecure about this because our job is to sell things that give people their gender, but gender is so many things. And I don't really actively care about most of those things. Don't you think gender can be selfish when it's not prescriptive? I've got my gender and I don't really care that much what other people do with theirs.
My sibling is raising their child without a gender. Oh, I know a lot of people do it, and I think that's so great, but for some reason I was surprised by it. Maybe even in a jealous way. It hasn't even happened yet, but they're going to start taking hormone blockers before puberty begins, so they won't have a puberty at all, and their genes have been altered so they don't become vitamin deficient. They'll get to choose completely. We've come such a long way from traumatic puberties to self-discovery to accessible, to the well-off, healthcare and normalization of reaffirmation, but now they won't have to go through the hard part. They won't have to find out what feels wrong. How do you know your gender when you don't have to experience a wrong gender? My skin is blue because I knew what it was like to be blue. Skin tint receptors in the womb. So whenever they want, they'll have the align activate different colors. To announce a new program in the Align family. Curate recognizes our history as a company based in the cultural remnants of the American Empire with a historical pattern of white leadership. As such, we have mostly refrained from providing default genders that come from cultures calling gender affirmative care, and have begun assembling Align from a wide array of ethnic and racial on all of the Align news by following our social media accounts at Align by Curate on all platforms.
Gender, 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 I made her out of clay, and when my gene...
Now I'm dying. I'm not dead. I'm dissatisfied then.
Imagine you're existing in something, and then you get a few nerve endings realigned and the organ above your stomach a little fermented, and that thing you felt, it's everywhere. And it's not one feeling, it's little specks of thoughts and images and sounds and smells and textures and temperatures, and it's none of those things. And it's all making sense. You understand everything that felt off before, or not off, but incomplete. And now you feel And it makes sense. Being alive makes sense. You can move through it again because you're not stopping to wonder.
Strut it out, walk a mile, serve it ancient city style. Talk it out, babble on, battle for your...
We only have the weekend. You can serve it to me, ancient cities.
It's the thing that you bring, that you bring, that you bring him. You and me, that's gossip. Strut it out, walk a mile, serve it ancient city style. Talk it out, babble on, battle for your life, Babylon. That's gossip. What you on? Money don't talk, rip that song, gossip. Babble on, battle for your life, Babylon. Babylon. Gossip, gossip, Babylon. Gossip, gossip, Babylon. Gossip, gossip, Babylon.
When they take my stomach brain and enhance it to become a dimensional brain, I will be able to transcend time, space, and gender. People are doing it all over.
We don't do that. People die doing that.
No,
Their bodies.
that's only some people. And that happens less and less often. Most people are able to live side by side other people. We can perceive more, but we're still human beings.
This is dangerous. People could be hurt irrevocably. We're merchandisers here. We make people more comfortable with their bodies. We're not here to turn people into psychedelic mushrooms.
I remember back in 6th grade, health and wellness class, one day we all took one of those gender identity quizzes. Mr. Carlson said it was just a way for us to start thinking about how gender is socialized and all that, but I remember being so excited when my feminine, but I liked it. I'm not even sure I ended up all that feminine. Later that week, I was called into the nurse's office during one of my breaks, and she started to talk to me about hormone replacements and hormone blockers the old-fashioned way before a launch. One to help me out, like back then. I felt like I was getting closer to the truth. That's what we're doing here, right? Getting closer to the truth.
All I want to know is that my mind and body are compatible with living, being alive and life. My mind, anger, and fear are not at all. The way my brain and my bones and my blood must take steps through the universe. Maybe on Mars. Maybe we have to go further. Perhaps I go so fast that I am faster than light, and so ahead forge I into